Joseph to do. It's not something that you would do with Joseph because you break your fighters down in training.
No, it's not something I would have expected Kevin to allow him to do. But there's moments, Tiger Woods, the greatest golfer on earth, that has a psychologist, or had a psychologist. I think that every fighter is different, but when I start with a fighter, I lay down the ground rules, and I don't change them. And if they require a psychologist, maybe I'm not the right coach for them. Because I break them down, I make sure that they understand who's in charge and how the system works, because we have a system there, and if they question it and they have questions about it, well, maybe that's the wrong place for them. Maybe it could be somewhere else.
Finally, Kevin, I'll ask you a curly question as well. You have openly said, we'll bring around to Abel, openly said that you're surprised that Abel has come down, in particular, and he's come down only a week before the fight. And you've done that flight from Los Angeles to New Zealand multiple times.
Well, what I actually said was, if that decision was mine, and I was making it on behalf of Joseph, I'd bring him down 2 weeks beforehand. But the other thing, if you actually heard my whole answer, was that Abel's been up in Big Bear for a long time, training in altitude with a number of world champions that we've just been talking about. He's also had people fighting in all different continents around the world, so I'm pretty sure he knows exactly the amount of time a fighter requires coming from Big Bear to fight. So, you know, I know that he wouldn't be doing anything if he wasn't 100% confident that the amount of time Andy's had here would be enough.
Questions, guys?
Let me say something. There's 4 organizations, major organizations. There's 17 weight divisions in each one. There's 68 actual world champions. 67 because it's one going to be determined on Saturday. But there's 68 actual world champions. There's 68 genius coaches out there that think their way is the only way. That's not true. There's a lot of different ways. He's got his way, I got my way, and 67 other coaches have their way. So what's right and wrong, it depends on us.
Abel, can I ask you first up, what are the key improvements in Andy's ring craft ahead of this fight?
Well, the unfortunate thing for me and for Andy is I only had him for a little over 6.5 weeks. And then when there was time of, the reason 6.5 weeks, it was actually 8 weeks he was there, but when there was time of it being postponed until January, we allowed him a couple days off, so he went home for a couple days. But there's only certain things that I can do other than the weight to dramatically change Andy. I have to work with what he's got and make sure that I get him as best prepared as I can for what he's given me at this moment.
But to answer the question, what are the key improvements?
The key improvements is up here. As you noticed, him being here, he's in a great mood, he's walking tall, he feels good, he has skills already. So it's just a matter of me sharpening up the skills and getting him in the best mental shape possible to put up with the 16 or 15,000 people that are going to be screaming at him.
Are you confident he can stay out of the way of Joseph's jab?
No, I'm wondering if Joseph can stay out of the way of his right hand.
Kevin, can I just ask you, obviously Abel trains a lot of fighters, almost runs like a military operation by the sound of it. You run more of a bespoke service, I suppose. Do you think that personal touch gives you an advantage in this fight?
Well, it's definitely helped for Joseph, and it's helped for Izu, my other heavyweight that lives with me. So the fact that I can devote 100% of my time to 2 guys, you know, we've shown that over the last 4 years that we've backed it up with a lot of results. So for me, it works, and it works for Joe.
Abel, do you think if you had had Ruiz earlier in his career, I know you had him early on in his career, but in the last couple of years he would have made this point much quicker and his weight would have been under control?
I think that his method of training would have been a lot different. His method of approaching the fight would have been a lot different, but we're saddled with what it is. We're here and we're fighting on Saturday, so we'll do the best that we can for the time we had. I still think that's enough to beat Joseph Parker. Just like Kevin just said, he's got 2 guys that are doing very well, so his method obviously is working.
Yeah,